dreams came in a succession of a few weeks, one after the other. And the first dream was kind of an encounter with the energy of Father, Creator God, or the masculine side of God, and an encounter with that eternal, all-seeing, all-knowing, ever-present consciousness. The second dream, I believe, was kind of a symbolic representation of perception itself, and a reminder that perception can be something which one can change, and that one can change one's mind or outlook in life. And the third dream relates to future time, and some of the earth changes which are either happening now or in the immediate or not too distant future. So I'm going to start off speaking a little bit about the first dream. So in the first dream, I found myself in the car park of a church which we used to visit as a family. And I was standing outside on the car park, and it was like the evening time. I could see the sun was setting, and the light was quite beautiful. And there was an atmosphere of evening or Christmas or something kind of magical in the air, something supernatural, which didn't seem quite like the everyday reality or the everyday type of dream. So I was kind of witnessing this scene, and as I looked to my right hand side, I saw a large tree which resembled a Christmas tree or a cypress tree, and it was oversized, it was quite big, and upon this tree were decorations, huge metallic spheres which were emanating light, and they were all different colors. So there was red, blue, green, yellow, all of the primary colors, and there was a number of these on this tree. They were much bigger than what you would expect, and I was kind of surprised. They looked oversized, and and I couldn't understand what this represented at the time. And I sort of looked towards the left, and as my vision scanned across the scene, I saw two nuns who were standing on the pavement, and they were staring up at the sky, and they were both dressed in their habits, in their black and white dresses, and one of them was pointing up at the clouds, and they looked very astonished or surprised, and I was very curious to see why they were so astonished and what they were staring at. So I followed the view of where one of the nuns was pointing, and I began to look up into the sky, and I saw that the whole sky was like blood red. It was emanating a glow, a red sort of a glow, and there were rays of red light which were being projected and shining down towards the earth, and the energy was very electric and supernatural. There was something very unearthly about this scene, and there was a noise which accompanied this this sight, and it was like a loud roaring sound, something like an ocean wave or like 1,000 trumpets. And I was very much shocked by what I was seeing and experiencing, and in a deep state of awe. And as I looked up to see where these light beams were emanating from, I saw that the clouds had opened in the shape of a triangle, and within that space, within that opening, I saw the eye, the all-seeing eye of God. And I didn't see it as a symbol or representation, but it was a living being, the eye of God the Father. And in that moment, I felt this ever-present love which overlooks all and is always constantly in our lives, even though we're not aware of it at times. So the feeling of this was extraordinary. It was a feeling of something which is so ancient and so alive, so beautiful and so fresh. So it had a quality of ancientness and also a quality of extreme novelty or newness. And I felt very small in the presence of this power. It was almost like I was flattened by this energy, just by the magnitude of this force. And when I woke up, the clarity of that dream, the clarity of that sort of vision was more real than reality itself. And upon waking up in the morning, I saw my life in a completely different way, and I saw that there's a reality which is more real than the everyday mundane reality. And I believe that in that moment I was somehow transported into that altered state and was shown one aspect of the Creator. So that experience really strengthened and solidified my already existing beliefs that we are always watched over by a loving and powerful, all-knowing presence which has created us and is our source. The second dream was not quite as dramatic as that, but it had the same quality of eternity and timelessness, which the first dream also had. There was a feeling which came with all three of these dreams, and it's connected to this feeling of timelessness and of eternity, and a sort of love which comes with that. And my heart's response to that was a feeling of longing, a longing for home, and longing for return. The second dream, in the second dream, I found myself looking out of the window in my brother's room, and it was a blue sky. There was hardly any clouds, and I was just looking out and observing the scene outside. And as I looked, I noticed that there was one sort of cloud formation in the sky towards my right, and I was struck by the light or the beauty of this cloud, and I was just watching it. And as I was watching it, I heard a voice, and the voice said, "Look differently." And I understood that to be taken literally, so I turned my head towards one side, towards a particular angle, and when I turned my view towards that angle, I saw that this cloud formation shifted and changed, almost like a mirage, and it turned into what I believe to be the gates of heaven, or the gates of the kingdom of God. And it resembled something like the architecture of the ancient Greeks, like the columns and something like the Pantheon or something like that. But it was glowing, and it was glowing with this white light, and connected with that was this feeling of profound peace and a sense that this is where we come from and where our home is and where we would like to return to. And also this feeling of timelessness, of time not existing in this realm. And my response to this experience was I did not want to return. I didn't want to come back to my waking state or wake up from that dream. But when I did, it was almost like a painful return. So now looking back on this dream, I understand it to be about a change in perception or perspective, how we can alter the way we see reality and look at reality from a different angle, and then something um, which is connected to the divine or connected to something holy becomes clearer to our perception. So the third dream, which I wanted to speak about, happened shortly after the second, and it was more to do with a time in the future. And I felt in this dream that I was actually transported to a moment in time which is to come within my own lifetime, and something which possibly would happen during my generation's time. Um, in the dream, I was together with my mother, and we were coming through a sort of dark tunnel or a cave. And when we came out of that, it was an opening and a light, and we emerged in that future time. And we emerged out of the house where I'd grown up, and I saw the street in front of me, and I immediately felt a different sort of feeling in the air. There was a very deep feeling of anxiety and feeling of chaos, which was in the air. And I could feel the mood of the times. People didn't know what to hold on to. They didn't know what was real. There was a fear, a profound sort of fear in the air. Everyone was in a state of expectation. Everyone knew that something big was about to happen and something was coming. And more in everyday reality now, I feel like this is the sort of mood that we're moving towards, and it feels like more and more things are getting a little bit hectic globally, and that's kind of the reason why I've decided to share these dreams. So as I was outside in this dream, I looked up at the sky and I saw what appeared to be a planet or a star, a red planet. I wasn't sure if it was a planet or a star because it was glowing red, orange light, but its appearance was kind of red and black, and it came fairly close to the Earth and remained in our sky for about 7 days, and it had a profound effect on all of the population. All of the people were affected in a sort of physiological way by this object which was in the sky. In the dream, I was told that this is Wormwood, and I watched this object, and I knew that I would be safe. I knew that it wouldn't collide with our planet, but it had a very powerful effect on people, and some people were going out of their minds and losing their sense of reality, and they were really affected by this astronomical event. After the 7 days and 7 nights, this object left. It left our solar system and it was gone. And then I saw my family members standing in the line in front of the house, and I saw the heavens open, the sky opened up. I saw the hand of God coming down and taking my family and taking them up into heaven in the physical form. And I was aware during the dream that this was something which was occurring on a global basis all over the world. Groups of people were taken and were disappearing. And that was the end of the dream. So I hope that somebody will get something out of this dream, and thank you for your time and for listening.